once again by the man, the myth, the legend, the man who has won everything of the year that you can win of the year, Rossy Rascal.
Hello, Graham, you okay? What an intro. That's been the most extravagant intro yet.
Okay, so I've not spoken to you for a couple of hours. Have you won any more awards in that time?
Last night we were up for UK Coach of the Year.
All right, anything tonight?
No.
No, okay.
no, not tonight. We're going to have a break tonight, I think.
Okay.
Well, I'm excited for this because I'm not going to treat it as an interview. I'm going to treat it as a catch-up.
Yes.
Because it has been a while and a lot's happened since.
I think the last time we sat down together to do one of these catch-up interviews was it February or March?
Yeah, around that time. So it's been a while.
It's been quite eventful. You've had quite a few interesting things going on, and hopefully we can talk about those over however long it's going to take us to catch up with everything. So, in terms of your wrestling career, December last year you won the PCW Cruiserweight Championship, and when it came to March, you entered the Road to Glory tournament, where the winner then gets to take on the PCW Heavyweight Champion. But unbeknownst to many people, a week before the Road to Glory tournament, you ended up in hospital.
Wow, heavy stuff straight away.
Let's get straight into it. So, what happened? What were you going through, and what was it like?
So I'm still, I don't know, maybe one day I'll open up a lot more about this because it did get quite dark, to be honest. And so randomly, I can't even explain why. So my heart just stopped. My heart failed. It dropped to about 21 beats per minute, and then that was pretty much it. I was rushed to hospital, hooked up to everything, you name it. I was in a really bad state, and there was no indication of that though. So I don't do drugs, don't really drink at all. So there was nothing that could have, triggered it in my eyes in that respect. Then basically spent all that time in hospital, hooked up to everything, pumped with iodine, you name it. It was a very, very horrible experience. But fast forward 2 days later, I was in the Road to Glory tournament where I wrestled 4 times across 2 days against former WWE stars, international travel stars, you name it. And obviously the final happened to be Philip Michael of all people. So yeah, it was one hell of a rush.
Quite a week.
Say at least.
From the lowest of lows to the highest of highs. And
kind of. I'd say, in all honesty, like on reflection, I've had time to reflect. I'd say it was all a low. I think it was a very dark place where I took myself mentally to get through it. A lot of it was a blur. Mm-hmm. I've not seen the footage back, and I don't think I want to see the footage back. I believe I performed very well on the day. I really do, because I created this illusion that I never told anybody really that I had these issues. So I believe I created the illusion that I'm still a performer, I'm still a top star, but in my head, I didn't know how this was going to go down, and it got very dark very quick to put myself in a mindset, in all honesty, where, okay, it's no longer fun, it's no longer games. It was a mindset where I genuinely thought I was going to die. Like, I'm not just saying that again just to sound like a tough guy. I put myself in a mental state where I thought this could be it. Like, okay, how am I going to feel? How's my heart going to react when I enter the arena, or when my music hits, when I take my first bump? Never mind, potential 4 matches if I made it to the final, which I did. So it was and it was very selfish as well. I put a lot of people there was only a handful of people that knew, and I put them through a lot of stress and a lot of worry and a lot of sadness over that weekend. So it was a very selfish and very dark time where I had to earn a lot of people's forgiveness and trust back. So it wasn't really a happy occasion. Right,
okay. I mean, I had no idea.
Exactly.
And the people that I know that wrestle, I worry about them all the time because I'm constantly terrified they're going to hurt themselves. Had I known that you'd been through all that, I would have been an absolute bitch, and I would have been trying to get you to stop wrestling at all, to be honest. But
100%. No, absolutely. So I think there was only one of my supporters, Suzanne, who obviously helps out the academy and things like that. Lucy's mother was the only one that really knew. But she told Simon, so at least I didn't know Simon knew. So Simon at least was keeping an eye on me. But I don't know why I didn't tell people. I think I'm quite headstrong to the point where I just get on with things. So I just kind of went through it. I knew what I needed to do as a professional. I knew what I needed to do as in life. That's what I'm pretty much born to do. So I just had to do it. And I didn't want to put the strain or stress or a big tough guy hero story behind it. I was just like, no, I'm going to turn up to work and I'm going to win what I have to win.
And then after that, there was a bit of time. You spent quite a bit of time away, and then you came back and you were able to defend your PCW Cruiserweight Championship. against an international wrestler, Gary J. How was that for you?
I enjoyed that. I was kind of, well, we spoke obviously over the years, so there was loads of things going on in my head at this time. Not only was the heart failure still lingering to the point where I was struggling. I had a very difficult summer, and the politics of wrestling as well. I was finally introduced to the politics side, where
it's fun, isn't it?
It was a roller coaster. So this was like the first time I've experienced politics, and I have this love-hate relationship with wrestling, and we spoke about it many a times where I'm proper high, and then there's times where I'm really not enjoying for whatever reason, and when it comes down to value and things. So I was going in with a weird mindset for this match, and again, I think I performed well, but my heart was not healthy. I felt healthy at the time, but I wasn't. Mentally, I wasn't. Physically, I wasn't. But I was mentally strong enough to get through it. And Gary J was a great guy. Hits hard. He brought it, to say the least. He chopped me a million times, which I didn't appreciate. But I gave him one back, Graham. I'll tell you, I gave him one hell of a chop back, and sent him packing back to the States. But he was good. He was a great competitor, and I want to actually wrestle him again. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, well, hopefully you will do at some point. Outside of PCW, you started then making some appearances for Target up in the north side of Cumbria. And I understand that after 3 matches, you ended up winning their High Octane Championship. Just talk me through that.
So again, this was a weird time because I was still struggling with the heart stuff. So everything's overlapping. So I'm doing well, but I'm struggling. And no one knew I was struggling really. And I didn't think even I knew I was struggling. I was just getting on with it. But yeah, I was brought into Target. Target, I really appreciate Target. They've looked after me. They've just been so good to me. They've promoted me really well. They treat me really well. And they've given me opportunities to excel. Which, again, if you give me an opportunity to excel, give me an inch, I'll take a mile. And they've been really, really cool. So I came in, got some good reactions straight away. I'm a fresh face for that type of brand or that type of market. So I've come in, ultimate baby face as you do. Big smiles, big judo throws, and made an impact. And got my title opportunity on their anniversary show, no doubt, as well. So it's a huge honour. And I captured their High Octane Division Championship, which is like their cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Explosive, exciting type matchups. And it was a hell of a match. And I don't know if you've seen the finish to that. Owen Michaels did like a flip over the top rope, caught him with a judo throw. I've never done a judo throw like it, and I'm so proud of it. And we got it on film, so that's one for the highlight reel. That one. We really enjoyed that one.
Well, closer to home, here in Blackpool, you have your own sports academy where you train people to do judo, but you've also got your wrestling academy for the youngsters as well. The last year, you've put on several shows ticketed for friends and family of those kids. You've also got like your weekly Saturday showcase shows. Just talk to me about what it's like running that academy and the kids that are coming in and what they learn and what it gives you.
It gives me fulfillment, to be honest. I can't stop thinking about it. I think I'm like married to this game now. I can't stop thinking about it. When I'm driving, when I'm on the sunbeds.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Exactly, no matter what I'm doing. So yeah, when I'm on the sunbeds for 18 minutes, I get chances to lie down, but I can't get it out of my mind, Graham. And I love telling stories. And this gives me the freedom to tell stories, but with incredible input from the children. Like, I'm amazed how much input they have, and their ideas are amazing. So it's a great little team spirit when it comes to creating the shows, where I have a vision, I have a rough idea of where people can go long term, but you've got to respect that things change at the click of your fingers in wrestling. But the kids have some good ideas, some cracking their personas, as you've obviously witnessed them all. And it keeps me so humble because I could win a world title in the weekend or a coach of the year thing, but I come back to the kids and it's about them, it's not about me. I never really want it to be about me, I want it to be about them, because I keep saying I've had my fun, I've achieved what I wanted to achieve, let's pass it on to someone else or a group, and they're thriving at it. It's just a happy place to be.
I think it's fair to say that the academy is the sort of the hub or the centre of the Rascal Army, the very vocal group of fans that follow you wherever you go. They're always there in their Rossy Rascal t-shirts, making loads of noise. What's it like having that support?
It's strange because it's happened so fast. Like, to be fair, the whole wrestling game, I've only been wrestling for 4 years now. Like, 4 years, that's not a long time. And everything I've done has been fast because it's been a life shift. Like, I was a judo fighter, and now I'm an entertainer. So it's been a shift in lifestyle. It's been a shift in what I'm doing. I never ran a kids academy before. We have the blueprint for it. It's not really been done in terms of storyline shows for kids. So we have the blueprint. So the Rascal Army is becoming like a trend now. It's fun. I really welcome it, and it's what it is a community. It's like you can be a part of this. So that, you know, and at our academy we welcome any age, gender, ability, and disability. So the Rascal Army isn't like an ego-driven thing where it's, again, I'm Rossy Rascal and this is my army. It's not. I've said this before, the Rascals is our community. That's what the Rascal stands for. It just so happens to be my name or my persona. Mm-hmm. But Rascals means community. Rascal means us. That's why we're proud to shout Rascal Army. That's why we've got our professionals like AJ Grimm and Casey and Bogston chanting Rascal Army. Because they're not chanting for me, they're chanting for our community. And every time I hear it, it should be my alarm clock, man. Like, honestly,
I mean, it isn't.
I hear Rascal Army because obviously we've done well in terms of crowds for my character over the years, but this Rascal Army thing is next level. The loudest it's ever been was, well, obviously, I'm sure we'll get to it, but my last match at Target, I shouted Rascal Army and they all shouted back, and it was the loudest thing I've ever heard. I was just like, this is powerful. Like, this is crazy, but honoured. It's so cool.
I mean, yeah, when you say the word community, that's something that I definitely have felt, that those kids and their parents and the families that sort of support them, whenever I've been in the academy, it does feel like a community where everyone's invested in each other. And yeah, that's something you should be very, very proud of creating. In terms of the awards, I've not got a list of all of them because my book's only got so many pages in it. But I'll just go through a couple of them. So, Club of the Year. Just talk to me about the award, what it means, and.
So we didn't win this one this year. So this year we were highly commended for Club of the Year. So that's second place, I guess, which is phenomenal. But we've won this award in the past. Then. So we've won this award in the past. So that's amazing. But it's not specifically Club of the Year. It's Community Club of the Year, and I love that word. So we've won Community Club of the Year in the past, and then this year we've been highly commended again. So it's nice that we're still recognised as, you know, there's no other options out there, but there's so many cracking community clubs out there in Blackpool. There really is. That's why I'm honoured to be a part of this town. Like when you start networking and exploring, it's like, you know what? There are some cracking people in this town. There are some really good clubs. But to be Community Club of the Year or Community Academy of the Year is an honour in that respect. But as we'll talk about the awards, I don't use them as a part of the mantelpiece. I don't care that they're on the mantelpiece. It's how can we use this now as a tool to create more opportunities. So every award isn't like a yay, there's one for the mantle, another win column. It's how can I use this to extend our reach? How can we use this to inspire? How can we use this to unlock a contact that can help us?
Yeah.
And that's why I chase these awards, or we go for them.
Okay, the other one I've got is Athlete of the Year.
Yeah. So the beautiful thing about this one is it was held by a really close friend of mine, Titan, Steve. And he is a phenomenal athlete, as you've obviously witnessed. Yeah. Levels. Like, I wish I could be the entertainer and the athlete that he is. I've been on stage with him, which is crazy. He's been performing in front of thousands. And to be on the stage with him in front of thousands of people, when he walks into a room, his persona is insane. So he was the winner of Athlete of the Year. He was the current holder. So now that I was nominated for it and in the finalists, I was like, this is going to be pretty cool. Like, he gets the hand. And you don't just win an award, you win a sword.
Okay.
So you actually win a sword, like a legit sword, and it's engraved. The sword was, if I get my facts right, was held or signed or something by a queen.
Yeah.
By the Queen Elizabeth. So that's pretty insane. So it's literally, you have royalty power, and your name gets engraved forever, so you get that heritage and stuff. There's already been a judo guy won that many, many years ago before my time, but I've actually trained with that judo guy. Mm-hmm. So to have my name on that would have been an honour, but I didn't actually win it. Again, I came second. So that's a bit of a trend this year. I've come second a lot in terms of these awards this year. And it would have been a lovely moment for Titan to present me with that. That would have been cool. Titan is so unselfish as well. He's a great friend. He thrives off my success. He loves it. He messaged me last night telling me how proud he was of me. And I love it when he's successful because he's having some great success at the minute. in terms of that, I spoke to him a lot about it. Originally, you know how I work and how my mind works. I don't celebrate second place. I just can't get it in my head. And I don't see it as winning a silver. I see it as losing the gold. And I've always had that mindset. And I'm very grateful to be recognised. I really am. But I don't like it. When I first won Coach of the Year, it was actually the year before I came second. And it annoyed me so much that I actually got Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
So that's my plan. It annoyed me so much, but it motivated me. I was inspired. I was like, Steve, I'm glad I didn't win this. I feel like if I won it, that would have been a well done, another award. Mm-hmm. People are online now saying I'm making these awards up. Like, honestly.
Wow, we have thought it.
Exactly, do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I'm genuinely glad I lost it, because as soon as I didn't win, if I won it, I would have been like, well done, pat on the back, I've got a sword, let's play Fruit Ninja.
Yeah.
But because I lost it, I was like, right, how the hell can I win this? Because the story was, you've had heart failure, you've become a world champion. How the hell can I become Athlete of the Year now? So immediately I was like, right, I'm getting back into judo. I need to win more titles, I need to do it. So straight away, I was training. I left the awards evening and I started training.
Yeah.
My mind was raced, so it's motivating me, and I'm quite proud that I didn't win that, actually. So I needed that.
Okay.
I needed to be humble.
But one title that you have won on several occasions, Mr. Blackpool.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
We've won it 3 times now. We've won it again. So yeah. So you know how this started. So this was not a joke. It was an accident. So lockdown happened, and I had nothing to do, and I wanted to step out of my comfort zone. I didn't want to fight because I didn't feel like that was out of my comfort zone. I felt my skills were transferable. So I wanted to do something different. So that's where the modelling came. And then God bless me, I won Mr. Blackpool. And then I was put into the national final. It's the trend now. I came second. So Mr. Swimwear of Blackpool, and then I came second in the national final. This was a few years ago. Then I became Mr. Blackpool, Mr. Lancashire, and blah, 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 blah. And we've won Mr. Blackpool again, and I'm back in the national final for next year. And I'm super motivated to win it. Obviously, this year's been a year of seconds, but next year I'm going to take everything, I think.
So you mentioned modelling.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that anyone out there, you're a good-looking bloke. It's fair to say.
I'm very good.
You are a good. I'm confident enough in my sexuality to say, Ross, you are a good-looking bloke.
I'm very grateful for that. I appreciate it. Yeah.
So, but now
it's only the men that think that. So I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I do appreciate it.
Well, I've always said if ever you put out a Rascal calendar, the mums would love it, especially at Christmas. Every mum in Blackpool, probably the country, would have one of your calendars. We can discuss that afterwards. That's a business proposition anyway. But yeah, so talk to me about your modelling career that's kind of gone crazy this year as well.
So it is a question of comfort zones. So it's not a question of vanity or ego. It is comfort zones because, like I said, I feel like my skills are transferable, that I can just jump into. I've won in boxing, I've won in a cage, I've won in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They don't feel like a challenge in terms of that scary. So with modelling, it was, I don't know what I'm doing, and I was keen to learn and improve, and I do feel like I've improved a bit. I still feel like I've got a long way to go with modelling, but I've had ups and downs of it. It's a very unique industry. It's very, very different, and I'm quite, I know obviously I come across as energetic, and as you said, but I do like my own space, and I'm not into like parties and stuff like that, and so it was kind of weird for me at first. I was up and down with it, but I've had a very successful year with it. I found a good little group, networked with some good photographers, and we're doing well, and it's become, I guess, a bit of a career now.
Yeah.
We're making a living.
And you keep bumping into wrestlers, I understand.
What do you mean?
There's a couple of wrestlers that you.
Oh yeah. I was like, so Tyson Tebow. So Tyson, this is a beautiful thing. So me and Tyson are under the same agency, so we've done photo shoots together. And he was my first ever wrestling opponent. If you remember, you were there.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. So we spoke about it. We've had a laugh about it. But he was my first ever wrestling opponent, and now we are models. So it is a crazy.
It's almost like you could be a tag team. We're obviously not called the Models because we have a tag team called the Models.
Yeah, I think we should. And I think here's the thing: if anything is going to bring Tyson T-Bone back to PCW or our neck of the woods, I think it's teaming with me.
Yeah.
I think we'll make a great. I think we've got, he's a gentleman. He's an absolute gentleman, but he's a beast, and he hits hard. I know that.
Yeah.
So I think if anything's going to bring that fire back, it will be a young lad like me that you can work with to try and improve, but also get that spark back. And I don't know, we're real models. Why don't we take on the models, Joey and Danny? Well, that'd be great. We'll show them how it's done.
Fighting for the title.
Oh, it's always about titles.
Or the title of being the models.
Oh, whatever they want, yeah.
The real models.
Well, honestly, Tyson's a gentleman, and I've learned a lot just from listening to the guy. Like, I just spark a conversation and I keep my mouth shut. And then as soon as he goes quiet, I just bring something else back up, just to get him talking. But he's a lovely guy, and he actually nearly came to our academy. He was wrestling in Blackpool on the holiday circuits.
Yeah.
And he told me this. He said he was just going to rock up unannounced, but he didn't. He got him in a car and whisked him off to a new town for another show.
No.
Same day. So he approves of what we're doing. He adores that we're passing it on to children. So I'm confident he'll be a part of our wrestle academy very, very soon.
Good. You mentioned after you didn't win an award that you then went straight back into looking at into judo.
Yeah.
And you went back into competing, something you've not done for, is it 4 years?
Yeah, pretty much 4 years.
Yeah,
3 and a bit years.
Just talk to me about that, why you decided to do that and how that was.
It was always cooking. It was always a thought. It was never a hunger or a desire. It was just the thought of, it's been 3 years since my last fight. I believe my skills have improved drastically. Even though I've not been in training, I've been coaching and I've been understanding. So I believe, like, even looking back at my old tapes of my fights, I was like, I can destroy that guy. As in me, I can destroy that guy. So I was like, there was a part of me that was curious to just test my skills. That's all I wanted it for. But then when I didn't become Athlete of the Year, I was like, what can I do to become Athlete of the Year? I need to fight again.
Mm-hmm.
The stars never aligned. It was always, it was excuses, because I never had the desire to do judo again in terms of a competitor. I loved coaching and I thrive with coaching the kids. So every time there was an opportunity to compete, I'd be like, yeah, but I won't have time to train. I won't be able to put in a training camp. Oh, there's a wrestling show the day before. It just never stars aligned until there's a particular date where I was like, there's no wrestling, there's no excuses. I won't have time to train how I think I should train, but I don't think I ever will. Mm-hmm. So I've got to give it a go. And yeah, and that was kind of fun to deal with. Obviously, we can go in depth with obviously the Dave turning up and how I performed and things like that. But it was cool, like you said. I think it was over 1,000 and odd days I hadn't competed in, and it was pretty cool.
One thing I do really want to ask about, and something I wished I was there to see it. A few weeks ago at Target, you had a heavyweight title match against their champion medallion. I don't want to reveal what happened because you kind of alluded to it earlier, but just talk to me about that day of going for that title match.
My confidence was peaking because we go back to the judo, which happened in the same month. So my mind is going from, I'm in this judo fight against second dans, against the top round. So I'm not just jumping in for a warm-up fight, I'm jumping into the top guys. So, and then I'm doing this, and then I'm fighting for heavyweight titles. So my performance at the judo, I personally felt I wasn't in condition for judo at that level. I felt my fitness wasn't there. It's the heaviest I've ever weighed in, but that was on purpose. I wanted to just see how I felt heavier and more energy. And I believe I smashed it. I lost my first contest. I was like, oh, here we go. And I believe that was down to my efficiency of energy. So the lad I lost to was bigger than me. I felt I was superior from a technical perspective, but I just didn't have the energy and the fitness because I didn't train for it.
Yeah.
And he didn't throw me, but he beat me by a pin on the ground. And I was like, right, okay. So I got up and I was thinking, obviously we'll get to the heavyweight title in a minute, but I was thinking, yeah, this is probably how it's going to go down. My fitness is crap, but that's a shame on me. Mm-hmm. And an ego kicked in again, that competitive ego, where I was like, no, I used to have an aura in this sport. I need to protect this aura. And then the next lad came out. It was a bit of back and forth. My fitness wasn't great, and then I did a beautiful throw. And the funny thing, I've said this story a few times, it was a gorgeous, one of my best throws I've ever done. It's called Uchimata. It's like an inner thigh throw. Bang! Everyone erupted. There's no video footage of any of these fights because I don't film my footage. I'm there to fight. I'm not there for Instagram. The guy that filmed it was the dad of the lad I threw. And I asked him for the tape, and I haven't got it. So I don't know if that exists. And I was kind of like, I didn't actually direct. I said, do you happen to have any footage? No. So I won that one. Now I'm like, right, I'm a little bit back. The next fight, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I tactically went in. I've seen his previous fights. Boom, in, throw. Now I'm like, right, my aura's coming back. I'm winning with big throws now. Last fight, I thought, right, he's dead tricky. Went for a throw, got half a score for it. I thought, I don't think I've got the energy to really commit now. Tested something, foot sweep. It knocked him off balance, and I thought, if I knew that was there, I probably should have committed. So I teased something else and then bang through him, and I was like, wow, okay. So 3 out of 4 fights isn't bad. Lost my first one, slow start. And then asking your question about the target, that gave me that aura again, which I've not had in a few years, where I was like, wow, okay. It just gives you that confidence. So the outcome of that target heavyweight title match was, I'm used to main events, I'm used to pressure, I'm used to performing in front of audience, I'm used to fighting in front of audiences. So the pressure never bothered me. Now I've got this extra aura on top. I genuinely felt unstoppable that night. I felt unstoppable, and it kind of proved in the performance.
Yeah, because just tell the people watching how long that match lasted.
So we're not really spoiling anything because it was big news.
Yeah.
They described it as under a minute. So we went in. I went in with a focus and a relentless. I wanted that belt. I wanted that title. I wanted that heavyweight title because the story was, I've achieved everything I've ever wanted in wrestling, but I've never been a heavyweight champion. Mm-hmm. So that was a nice tick, of course. And the more experience and the higher I climb in wrestling, the more I can give back to the kids. Mm-hmm. So that was nice, and I went in there with a focus. He was shifting the game. He was saying I didn't deserve it and stuff, and I was like, oh great, here we go. I might even lose my opportunity here. Obviously, I think the Rascal Army put him off, but when you're in that, I said, when you're around that Rascal Army, my performance goes up, my opponent's performance drops. So that's a trick up my sleeve every time I go. And I won't say I caught him off guard. He charged straight at me, classic judo, get out of the way, judo throw. Spin round, second judo throw. And I'm like, no one's really ever kicked out of this throw. And he didn't. Boom.
Wow.
Under a minute, heavyweight champion. So
not bad.
Aura is up there right now. You know, confidence is peaked and the aura is there. So I feel unstoppable in this game.
Excellent. One of the other things that you were nominated for this year was UK National Community Coach of the Year. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about that.
So that was last night. So as a recording, that was actually last night. So that's the one we briefly mentioned. This was huge for me. Again, this is all in the same month, Graham. Everything we just listed. So the return to judo, the heavyweight title, the national coach of the year was all within 30 days. So right now, I'm probably the calmest I've been in 30 days. And I'm still a bit tense because I always am when I talk to you. Because you bring everything up. You bring my modelling stuff up. You bring the calendars up. So I don't know what's going to come next. But yeah, the national coach, so I've been very proud, again, not to boast, but I've won Blackpool, I've won Fylde, and I've won the Lancashire Coach of the Year twice. Only person to ever do that. So I feel like as a coach, I'm solidified as... I've never admitted to being a great judo fighter. I've never admitted to being a great wrestler. But I will always say I am a great coach, because as arrogant as that sounds, I do believe I'm a great coach. I do believe I was on this earth to coach. Not to wrestle, not to do judo. I believe I'm supposed to be a coach. And I believe I'm a damn good one. These awards, did they solidify that? I don't know. I'm still obviously reflecting on what happened last night. Because again, I was a finalist. I didn't actually win it. I was just a finalist, top 3. Which is an honour because it's national, UK. You know, Scotland, Wales, and it's the whole of the UK. There were celebrities there, Graham. There was Olympic gold medalists there. Princess Anne was there. This is a big deal, Graham. So it was huge. You know, spoiler alert, I didn't know who Princess Anne was.
Oh.
So I've learned as an education, but it was great. And again, it was very well ran. The media was insane, Graham. Like I've done media for the Lancashire Coach of the Awards, but for the UK, I've never been hounded with so much media. We did BBC Radio Lancashire, we've done papers, and I can handle media. But again, judo fights, heavyweight titles, I'm not stopping them. So it was nice. And again, I spoke about this earlier, you know how my mind works. My mind now is super motivated. So I left that building, obviously as a finalist, not a winner, and I got straight to work. Yeah. How can I be UK Coach of the Year next year? And I was sat there and I stayed up all night and not even slept. And I was like, how can I be Coach of the Year? I don't want that trophy as to say, hey, this is on the mantelpiece, look how great I am as a coach. Not at all. I know how much that UK Coach of the Year would have unlocked a lot of potential. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me to help communities, and I'm confident other coaches were dead deserving of it, obviously, absolutely, but I don't know where their motives lies in terms of how they're thinking. Are they going to celebrate that, or are they going to say, what can I do with this? I don't celebrate these trophies. I say, how can I use this to help people? Mm-hmm. Even with my judo gold medals, I pass them on to kids. Yeah. So it's never, oh, look at me, it's how can I use this? So for me to win that, or obviously I didn't win it last night, but if I won it, it would have been, how can I use this? So as I said, I've not slept because I was like, how can I win this next year? Because I know what it's going to unlock. I know it's going to take not just our community, not just the Rascal Army, but communities around. I want to help everybody that we can help. So that's why I'm a little bit bitter, but we'll get it.
One thing that I've not written down on this list, and it might be something you forgot to mention, or you're deliberately trying to forget it. Earlier this year,
trying to forget a few things.
Earlier this year, you caused a bit of a buzz in the local press and online after.
I know what you're going to say.
After appearing on ITV's Tipping Point.
This is why I'm nervous talking to you. I told you, because you bring up everything. Was that this year?
That was this year.
Wow.
What was that experience like for you? I mean, I don't want to interrupt you too much, but I've been on Tipping Point as well, so just saying.
Because I asked you for advice.
You did, yeah.
And you said, I don't remember exactly what you said. You can obviously correct me, but you said something like, "Don't worry, you don't need to be smart. You just need to be a bit of a character."
Yeah.
And the questions are easy anyway. And I was quite offended. And you were right, because when they did like the test questions, you know, on the
auditions.
The auditions, they were very easy questions.
Yeah.
I think I'm not boasting because I'm not smart, but I got more right. But I think they were testing personality over, and how can you expand the question? So it wasn't just answer it, it was how can you talk about the question?
Yeah.
So I kind of recognised that, so I played the game. However, it was obviously aired this year, but it was filmed 2 years ago, so it was actually filmed in lockdown.
Yeah. So
the experience wasn't probably a proper one like yourself. It was unfortunately very rushed. Now, everyone was lovely, producers, Ben Shepherd, gentlemen.
Yeah.
But he actually apologised because he weren't allowed to shake my hand because of the COVID situation. So it was very, you turn up, you get mic'd up, and then as soon as you're eliminated, when I was eliminated, you literally kicked out, and I was like, wow. And that was the same day our PCW Training Academy reopened.
Right.
I drove straight from Bristol, straight to the academy. I got there with 1 minute to spare. I was exhausted, knackered, just met Ben Shepherd. I'm a two-token this, and a two-token that. And then I put in one hell of a shift at training to say, I'm still here. It was fun. I was genuinely not scared, but I was concerned that I wasn't going to be smart enough. So I didn't know how to actually play the slot game. And I answered the first question. Boom, straight in.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm smarter than I thought. And then the cool thing is, obviously, we did the mean tweet video, which obviously we'll post up on this thing, but they chose my outfit. Yeah. I just need to get that across because I brought a lovely suit, and I don't like my suits. A lovely shirt, and they chose my outfit because they wanted that quirkiness, and they wanted obviously people to tweet mean things about me.
Yeah.
Well, it was fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun. And if I won that cash prize, the 10 grand, I knew what I was going to spend it on. It was going to, you guessed it, going to go back to our academy.
Yeah,
100%.
I thought you'd say that. You mentioned going back to the PCW Academy straight after appearing, after filming a TV show. We'll bring it back to PCW towards the end of this year. 17th of December, you have a championship match. You are defending your cruiserweight title.
Am I? I didn't know it was a title.
Well, I think you are.
I don't know. I don't actually know. That's news to me, Graham. Cheers for the pressure. I've just calmed down from this month.
I mean, maybe it is now a title match. Who knows? But you are taking on CJ Banks, who I've heard is actually retiring. After this match. So, how do you prepare for that, and what does it mean to be going against CJ?
I told you I've got this aura right now. You know, with everything that we've done this month, I've got an aura, I've got a confidence, I've got a swag about me now. Any like I said, actually, if I can just use this time to plug, that same day, that same morning is our Rascal Academy show.
You've sold every ticket, haven't you?
More or less. Well, we're nearly there, actually, to be fair. But we will do, because the parents tend to leave it last minute and then they panic.
Yeah.
But it's all
the prices.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'd do it for free if I could, to be honest. But I'm not actually wrestling on that show. Like I said, I've retired from the Rascal Academy shows, hence why I left my boots in the last show. But I'm still producing it, so I'm still there to produce it, make sure the kids are safe, sound, and happy, not overwhelmed. So it's going to be a great show, which I'm fully prioritising, by the way. So this is where, again, it might be my downfall in the CJ match, because I'm giving my full attention to these kids because they deserve it and because I promised them. So that could be a bit of a downfall in my performance in the CJ match, but my aura is quite high at the minute, as I keep using that word. I'm quite confident. But to wrestle someone like CJ, who coached me, so he knows all the tricks. I've still got a bag of tricks myself, I'm an old judo boy. But for a guy that knows all the tricks, for a guy that is relentless, for a guy that put me through my paces, to say the least, I don't know what CJ I'm getting as well. This isn't... Am I going to get a CJ that's just not going to care and want to cause harm just for the sake of it because it's his last match? He has nothing to lose because he's going to be a very dangerous CJ. I really know it. So I've got to be on it. I've got to be on it. And if it's for the title, then I'm obviously in trouble even more. But that just puts that pressure back on me. So I kind of hope it is for the title because I'll perform better.
Yeah. But
I don't know what CJ I'm getting. I know I'm going to get a savage one either way because one, he's got a point to prove that he's the coach, I'm the student. He's got the point to prove that he's the veteran and I'm still the new kid with loads to learn. He's got the point to prove that this is his last match. He's either going to really care about it to the point where he wants to put on that performance, or he's just going to be like, I'm not too forced, I'm just going to batter this kid because I can. And that's the mindset that we're dealing with CJ. Yeah. He's a nasty, you've witnessed him in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
He's a nasty, nasty wrestler and competitor in the most polite way.
Yeah.
I adore that man when it comes to his in-ring ability and obviously what he's passed on to me. And like I said, he was never harsh on me in training as such because I could handle that type of training. So he was kind of, there was part of him that they're proud of me to be his graduate, and I'm obviously proud to be his graduate, but there's that competitive streak, and he's still got that mean streak when it comes to, from his perspective, I'm the veteran, you're the rookie, I'm the veteran, and this is what wrestling needs to be. And to be fair, in his mind, I'm probably everything wrestling isn't, or he doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
I'm all about the kids, I'm all about teaching kids how to wrestle. That's not classic wrestling, that's kind of frowned upon in some communities, do you know what I mean? So we probably want to use that and say, kid, you're abusing your privileges as a wrestler. So I'm the squeaky clean, I don't even know what crowd I'm walking into there. I could get booed because everyone will appreciate CJ's last match. I don't know what crowd I'm walking into. Yeah. So this could be, you've seen me overcome adversity with Big T, Philip Michael, heart failure in Road to Glory. You've seen it all, but this is probably the most adversity I'll ever have to overcome. This is obviously going to be the toughest match because of that pressure of what it's about. Not only is it one of the biggest matches of my life because it's my coaching's retirement, it's the main event of my hometown. So I've got points to prove. Yeah. So it's the biggest match that we can make.
Okay. Well, as I've said, I think it might be for the title. I've made that mistake in the past where I've declared stuff for the title and then announced winners, and then Flood has come out and said, "No, pal, it's not. You got it wrong." So yeah, don't listen to me. But yeah,
you can't make it though, can you? You're not there for that, are you?
I might be. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, plans have changed, so I don't know what's going on at the minute. But no, good luck.
Appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure to catch up with you. We've caught up to the present day, and hopefully we can do this again in the near future after Christmas.
Yes.
Sometime in the new year.
As I said, this wasn't an interview. This was a catch-up. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.